Hi everyone, welcome to our latest video. Really pleased to be able to show you today this gorgeous Ducati 749. And this is the very last of the 749s before Ducati replaced it with the 848. And as you'll see, she's an 07 2007. And this bike's covered just 6,600 miles from new. So those of you that are familiar with the 749 and 99 shape, designed by Pierre Terblanche to replace the iconic, obviously 916 and 748 shaped, I think it's quite widely recognised that when it was launched, it wasn't actually universally appreciated. I think most of the Ducati faithful just couldn't quite get their heads around a conventional double-sided swing arm and these stacked projector headlights, which were a far cry, as I say, from the iconic 916 shape. But nonetheless, I think time has been kind to the 749 and the 999, so arguably it was a design that was slightly ahead of its time, but they are actually now increasing in value and certainly becoming quite rare to find with this sort of mileage and in this condition. So this is a 2007 bike, so 11 years old, but covered, as I say, just 6,600 miles. She's got 8 stamps in the service book. We have all the MOTs, we have the original purchase invoice from Parkinson Ducati in Colchester, and the last 2 services have been done by an ex-Parkinson Ducati technician, Glenn Harrison at Moto V, where she's just been and had the full works, oil and filter, cam belts, brake and clutch fluids, a set of iridium spark plugs, everything it's needed, throttle's balanced, and we've just fitted a brand new pair, not sure if you can see in the shadows there, but a brand new pair of Bridgestones. Probably a bit easier on the front in the sunshine. So she's fully prepped and ready to go. Coolant flush, the works. So basically, again, if you're not particularly familiar with 749s, there are things to look out for. This is obviously the later model with the red frame and the black box section swing arm, compared to the earlier bikes that had a sort of a banana swing arm, and of course the black Marchesini wheels. It gives us an opportunity to do some close-ups. Beautiful paintwork on this bike, regardless of the mileage. Obviously it is an 11-year-old bike, but you certainly wouldn't notice that to see the bike in the flesh. So you can see the tail unit there. We have just got a couple of nice additions. We've got a tail tidy on the back. It's largely a standard bike, but we have got a nice tail tidy on the back with these smaller indicators. Now we've got the standard tail tidy and indicators if you did want to put it back to completely standard, but I must admit I do think that just tidies up the rear end really nicely. Still got the original Parkinson Motorcycles number plate on the back there. And as you can see, the paintwork on the tank on the left hand side equally as good as the right, and possibly Ducati's Achilles heel, which is the paintwork on their engine casings. As you can see on this particular bike, looking every bit as good as the mileage would suggest. There's no peeling or any bubbling of the paintwork at all on there. Really nice. And again, you can just see the cleanliness of the rear shock. It's clearly not had a hard life at all. Okay, you can also see we've got a carbon hugger there, which has obviously helped to keep that shock clean. And just do some close-ups there again of that brand new tyre and the wheel. No chips or scuffs to the wheels, which is often the case. We put these bolts in the swing arm because it is bereft of paddock stand bobbins, so those bolts have just been put in there temporarily while we've been doing our final checks and cleaning, etc. And again, that left hand fairing, absolutely lovely. So the later 749s, as with the 999s, also came with this wider front fairing. The early models, some of you may be familiar with, came with air intakes up here as well. So you had these lower air intakes here for the actual induction, and then air intakes here, which were actually designed to let air through and reduce the frontal pressure on the nose cone. But feedback from the World Superbike riders at the time, the likes of Neil Hodgson, etc., on the 999 was that there wasn't enough wind protection. So the 2005, 2006 models onwards, I think 2005, they came out with these wider nose fairings. Okay, now you'll also see that we're fitted with a data tool alarm, so to protect your pride and joy. And I've just turned the ignition on. You'll see the instrument panel do its self-check. And we can see the mileage there is 6652. And I've saved the best till last because whilst this has got a standard exhaust on it as opposed to a Termignoni unit, this standard exhaust has actually been hollowed. So it's had the internal baffles removed, so you get the original look, but with the Termi sound. So I'll fire her up for you in a moment, and you can see what you think. But we do also have a second completely standard exhaust with the baffles in. So obviously, if you did want to take it back to a completely standard sound, you can do. Just warming the bike up just very gently before we started, so that we can flip the throttle for you and hear that exhaust. Of course, the other noise you can hear, probably equally as loud as the exhaust, is that classic Ducati dry clutch. So if we pull the clutch lever in, you can hear the change in tone. So very rarely does the dry clutch rattle appeal to riders of Japanese bikes, but those of you that like the Ducatis, I'm sure wouldn't be without it. So just give the throttle a blip so you can hear the exhaust. Lovely deep rumble from that 749cc V-twin. So there you have it. That's a Ducati 749. Now, I think it's widely recognised that it's probably not a match for a GSX R750 in a straight line. We've got a Testa Stretta V-twin there putting out about 116 brake horsepower. Being a later model, this is the slightly more powerful engine as well. The early ones, sort of 2003, 2004, was a slightly lower powered V-twin. This is the 116 brake horsepower version that's also found in the S. But it's not about speed, certainly not 11 years down the line. It's about ownership, and there's something quite special about owning a Ducati. And I think the 749s and the 999s are really capturing people's imaginations now. So, beautiful example, one of the last ever made on a 2007 plate. She's a Ducati 749 with 6,650 miles, 8 stamps in the service book, and fully prepared by MotoV Colchester and ourselves with a brand new set of tyres. And this bike is available at 5,995. I hope you enjoyed the video.